That's not for me. Cap showed a cock on string. I was tricked into doing that. Yeah, I was tricked into doing that. What's it called? Who wants to be a boring? That's not the well. The. I'll just say this again. For any of you who try to use that as an argument of who wants to be a cop in a boring, safe city, Baldle, do you guys not remember the plot? I don't want to say the entire plot, but do you guys not remember the plot of the guy from Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie? Do you guys not remember him? He was a cop in Montana, Green Hills, Montana, where there was only 2 police officers in the whole town, and he was bored out of his mind every single day. He was sitting in the car like this every day. Sitting in the car with the bored out of. Is that what you want, chat? Press 1 if that's what you want your life to be. That's what cops should want. Sitting in the car, half asleep, donut box in the passenger side, with their head in the air, holding the radar. That's not what anyone wants. That's boring. Quiet places get crazy crimes though. When they have, it's also when you work in a town like that, you also really don't get backup. You have to also understand, chat. If some crazy shit happens where there's a bank rob, okay, it's you and that one other cop. That's it. You can't just be I'm scared, susty, I don't want to respond. That's not an option. You have to respond. You know what I mean? There is no option of I'm afraid or I'll wait for no, you have to go. It doesn't matter if the town's getting invaded by the fucking Red Ribbon Army. Go stop them, chat. Go stop. You and your gun, go stop them. I'm gifting Cap Donut. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. You guys might think that that's a meme, but that actually, when I graduate, chat, if you guys wanted to give me some Krispy Kreme gift cards, that'd be kind of nice. Anyways, let's get on that. I can't tell if Cyframe Duels is actually serious or not, but I don't think he's serious. If he's serious though, holla at me, Cyframe. I'll talk to you.
Ed, what was the best?
Krispy Kreme's not overrated. It's super unhealthy, but it's not overrated.
Format of Yu-Gi-Oh! Try to keep it in the modern era, so Duelist Alliance onwards. Comment right now what you believe to be the format.
Best format, Duelist Alliance. Honestly, I would say Duelist Alliance. Donuts are super. No, they're not. Donuts are delicious. Chat. Sometimes I wish. Let me give you guys a scenario, right? Completely imaginary scenario. You guys have 2 options. This will make me look incredibly bad. Option 1 is you get $1 million. That's a little too much money. Option 1 is you get $500,000, chat. You get $500,000 right now in cash. It's just a pile of cash on your. Actually, we'll put it in your bank account, chat. You can either get $500,000 or option 2, you can eat anything or do anything for the rest of your life and you will never gain weight. You get to set your weight, you get to set your body physique, and you can eat and drink whatever you want for the rest of your life and you'll never gain a pound. And you'll also never have any of the negative health implications where it's okay, well, I'm not gaining weight, but I'm super unhealthy. Which one are you taking, chat? Option 1, yeah, I'll take option 2. I'll make the money, chat. I know you guys are going to be Cap, that's so dumb. No, I'll take the money. But if you're telling me I can eat whatever I want, I just want donuts today. Right now, chat, I am trying to be on a very stringent diet. The reason why is because I think that the police academy in New Orleans starts May 12th. So by May 12th, chat, I need to be in pretty decent shape. You know what I mean? And that's essentially only a month from that. That gives me 5 weeks, chat, that I need to really whip my ass into shape and being shape to hey, we need you to go do 50 push-ups. Now we need you to go run 1.5 miles. Now we need you to go do 40 sit-ups. You know what I mean? I need to be able to do that shit. I would love to just be able to eat whatever I want any day of the week, chat, and never, what's it called? Don't be a glutton. You don't have to be a glutton to be fat though. You know what I mean? Like being a glutton probably makes you is more likely to make you fat. But what's it called? Just work out. That is a myth. Working out does not make like if you work out, chat, but you have a bad diet, like you're not gonna lose weight. That's the bad thing. If you could just work out and lose weight, chat, like working out helps you lose weight, but it won't be the reason you lose weight. The reason you lose weight is because you change your diet, not because you work out. Like it's pretty much like an 80-20. Like it's like 80-20, chat. Like the diet is like 80%, and then working out is like the 20%. Like believe me, I wish that like working out could count, but it doesn't. It just doesn't. True, I need to change my diet. Shit, that's hard, bro. Option 2 is way better. Sounds like no, Selza, you're not getting it. So I think Selza, you have a jaded view because you're a little skinny kid who's like always been skinny his entire life, which I don't know. You guys ever hear like white privilege or whatever, male privilege? Like, bro, if there's a privilege in life, chat, it's skinny privilege. I wish I could just wake up and like always be skinny. Yeah, skinny privilege is real. Selza has skinny privilege, chat. Like, probably eats like shit all day and just perfectly skinny. Like, I wish I had that. You know what I mean? Selza already has option 2. Anyways, going down and swinging says $500,000. Please as I do have a slight high cholesterol already. Is exercising more now though. Well, I mean, at least you're changing things around. That's good. Like if you don't have like a lot of income, then yeah, take 500K. But for me, chat, like I'm financially okay. I'd rather have what's it called, and plus it lasts the entire life. Like if you guys what would you guys do if you had 500K tomorrow? Type in the chat. What would you guys do? One sentence. I'm gonna see how many of you guys are gonna like fuck up your lives. Cap, I go to Vegas and put it all on black. You know what I mean? Invest it. I think that's a good answer. I have the Stew Dog video, by the way. Did you recently go to? Okay. I think buying a house would be go to Japan. I think buying a house would be smart. I think investing it would be smart. Those are like the 2 best answers, honestly. Buy Ghost Rares. I mean, if you were going to get them graded, that'd be like investing it. But those are like the only 2 good answers to me. Is either like invest it or buy like property. Because if you buy a house, chat, it doesn't matter if you get fired from your job. It doesn't matter if you, I don't know, like if you get dumped by your girl. Like you still have a house. Like you can live in a house. You know what I mean? Like, so what's it called? I'd move out of this shit ass city and open up my own. Wow, an OT. Why would you want to open a Yu-Gi-Oh store? Oh my god, that is going to. Do you know how difficult it is to make card shops profitable, man? Like I love the game too, but I wouldn't want to monetarily invest in Yu-Gi-Oh that way. Now being a vendor is like different, but an OTS, like you're like reliant on your community. Like being a vendor, you can travel and like sell shit, but like I wouldn't want to be dependent on like the whims and things of like Yu-Gi-Oh chat. Like if they give you a really shit, like what if you have chat like a set like Soul Burning Volcano, which is like a dog shit set, and you have to order 2 cases of it, and then nobody wants the set. So like, okay, now I just took like a $2,000 loss. Like, I'm not with that. No, sir. Don't ruin my dream, VP Valdo. I'm sorry, chat. I never try to like stomp on anyone's dreams. I've watched enough One Piece to know you don't do that. Actually, I've watched enough anime to know you don't, but like, that's not a dream that I would want. Just make the 2K. Card shops aren't easy, especially if it gets broken in. Well, I mean, it usually only gets broken into in like big cities, you know.
That was closest to perfection.
But anyways, to answer this question, what would I consider my favorite format since Duelist Alliance would be Duelist Alliance. Like if we could go back to Duelist Alliance, like I like that form. Even though chat, Duelist Alliance arguably had some of the highest power creep ever in Yu-Gi-Oh. Because like it basically power crept everything before. Like you couldn't play Bujin anymore. You couldn't play fucking Girgia, like all the decks before Duelist Alliance instantly became terrible when like Shadows and Burning Abyss and Tellarknights came. They were like all better. However, it didn't matter because like I love Tellarknights and like even when we got Necros and Ritual, like I like it. I like that format, chat. Toss format. 2016 Yu-Gi-Oh was great. I want to play some. Well, Necros would be, depending on how you look at it, that would be like either Duelist Alliance or like right after, because Duelist Alliance or Necros, the Secret Forces came out like few months after Duelist Alliance. You know what I mean? So.
Was it structure deck formats like ABC or Monarch? How about...
Okay, fine. Revising my idea to move out of this shit-ass city. I would try to make my own RPG. You ain't, bro. You ain't. If you trying to make a video, you ain't got that much money. Unless you're making like an Undertale game or Undertale where your budget is like you have no voice. Undertale has no voice acting, right, chat? Let's like Undertale's like 8-bit. There's like no voice acting. Like most of the money probably went into like the story and the writing. Like yeah, you ain't got that much money. $500,000 is like for making a video game. That's like nothing.
Toss format with a good variation between combo and control. Maybe you really enjoyed the skillful back and forth of the tier limits matchup. What was my favorite matchup? It's insert whatever format you like, so you don't flame me for enjoying the Sword Soul branded format. I really like mid-range decks. I ask this because I don't remember the last time I have looked into a comment section or discussion and read anyone talking about how much they enjoy the current format for like the last several years. Nor have I seen a video talking about it at all. You can see Farfa or any other Yu-Gi-Tuber uploading a video about why they...
This was the same thing in tier format. I just always revolt against this idea that tier is like so beloved. Like you say this, but like where was the love during the format? You know what I mean? Like where was the love? It's literally what's it called? That's what I'm saying. I don't get it. Everyone's like, oh, tier was the most skillful. Like really? Just milling a bunch of random ass cards that you have no control over, it's skillful? I guess.
Or the community don't like what's going on, but you won't find a single vid talking about the times they really enjoy playing the game. Why is that? The cynical answer is because negativity is more popular than positivity. You can get...
What did I tell you guys? What did I tell... This, oh my god. Press 1 if wrestling is fake moment. Wrestling is fake moment, chat. This guy, this is a wrestling is fake moment. This guy is telling you wrestling's fake. We're not supposed to tell people that wrestling's fake. You know what I mean? I told you guys, I feel like literally on stream, I told you guys, negativity gets infinitely more views than positive. That's just the way it is, bro. Like negativity makes it's way better for viewership, chat. It's way better. Drama, discourse, it is. Now it's not something you should just say out loud as he just did, but I just want to point out like that was something I said on stream. That negativity like infinitely beats what's it called? I always thought wrestling was fake. Well, that's not the term wrestling is fake. It's like you know wrestling, but like they don't ever say wrestling is fake. And every kid going down swinging the like that terminology or that metaphor basically like it's like that moment as a kid when you realize like, oh God, wrestling's fake. Yeah, like every kid has that come to Jesus moment. You know what I mean? Where you deny like, oh my God, it's so real, it's so violent. Like, but no, it's actually fake. You know what I mean? This is a wrestling is fake moment. If you had any reservations about positivity v negativity, like, you know what I mean? I'll give you guys an example. You guys remember the dark side of Yu-Gi tubing? That was the video about G-Hopper, right? Video has like 250,000 views. Remember Yu-Gi or your Yu-Gi-Oh channel's follow-up chat? The light side of Yu-Gi tubing? How'd that video do? How'd that video do, chat? How'd the light side of Yu-Gi tubing work? Yeah. The light side of Yu-Gi tubing didn't pop off that hard. The dark side of Yu-Gi tubing where it's like, oh my God, I can't believe this person did all this crazy shit. They're so bad. Like, that popped off. Negativity sells, chat.
Is that? The cynical answer is because negativity is more popular than positivity.
True.
You can get the most views and attention in this algorithmic hell by talking about how bad things are. Even build whole careers weaponizing the emotion of anger towards a...
I'm telling you, man. Look at I Hate Everything. His entire career is just shitting on stuff. His entire channel is just as long as I can trash something and it be somewhat like objective to where I can get some people behind me. It's like, all right, there you go.
Bad product. And I'm not calling anyone out here. I myself have done this for my single most successful video, and not on purpose, it was more of a discussion, but I don't mean to attack anyone here.
Me too.
It's just the truth. So as a result, people trying to grow will end up making more negative content. But now we are going outside the boundaries of Yu-Gi-Oh! What makes a good format is so damn subjective, and I believe it changes dramatically depending on your skill level, free time, and knowledge of the game as a whole. Let me break it down for each subgroup of Yu-Gi-Oh! Player and their general thoughts. Obviously, you cannot get 100% accurate reading on an entire group of people, but I think this is a solid approximation. Now, what are the things the majority can agree on for an ideal format? Well, obviously, the perfect format is where I win because I skillfully outplayed my opponent every step, and every game I lose is because I bricked and my opponent sacked me with the perfect 5-card hand. But the actual one thing I think people...
How's this a brick? Like, I get you're not doing anything, but you have Maxi, Called by the Grave, Ash, and Ogre. Like, you have 4 ways to stop your opponent, and you have the God card, as everyone says, that wins the game. So, no dude, Maxi, draw 2 cards. You get a draw, plus you get draw, like, I'm just saying, I get that you're not doing it, but, like, there are way worse hands than, like, 4 cards that stop your opponent. And one that kind of stops them and gives you unlimited resources. That's all I'm saying. They could also... Yeah, but even if they pass with like you get like Maxi replaces itself with a draw, plus you have your draw. So like now you have 3 cards. You have these 4 cards and 2 additional cards. That's all I'm saying. It's not like this is not terrible. It's not like you have... let me think. You have the Lost World plus... Grand Zeno plus Ash plus like UCT, where it's like, holy shit, this doesn't stop my opponent and it doesn't do anything. Like, this stops the opponent, gives you new cards, and like, I don't know, it's gonna be hard to kill somebody through these cards, chat. Like, I don't see a Yu-Gi-Oh deck like killing someone through this unless it's like Kashtira. Like, Kashtira can probably kill you through this.
Correct, and my opponent sacked me with the perfect 5-card hand. But the actual one thing I think people can agree on is when a format doesn't feel insanely one-sided if you're going first or second. I think despite playing a card game which will always have an inherent luck factor, most players, even casuals, don't want their match to be decided by the coin flip instead of the gameplay. Unless you're playing Coin Flip Turbo, then your gameplay is the coin flip. Regardless, I think it's why you see in so many comment sections people voicing how much they despise the modern combo deck. In their eyes, they lost a coin flip, so they have to sit through a no-joke 37-minute setup against 16 negates without being able to do anything. And you know what? That's fair. I can't blame anyone for hating that. On the flip side, going second decks in Master Duel got a similar sort of hate. Regardless of what I do going first, my opponent is just going to Lava Golem it and then attack into it with Mikanko or Numeron and win no matter what I do. So, it's important for an ideal format to have a good balance of going first and going second. I think the strongest pro for tier format was the fact that it didn't really matter if you went first or second. But I know the tier format was very controversial. Please don't flame me. Remember, my favorite format just happens to be the one you, dear viewer, love the most. I think another universal agreed upon wish for a format is being affordable. Nobody enjoys dropping 1,000+ on their cardboard for the meta. If only we can agree on liking and subscribing to the channel. I have a ton of exciting projects and discussions coming up, so make sure to stay in the loop. Now we got that out of the way, it's time to ask. Diverse formats or limited? The pros of a diverse format are pretty obvious. There are more available meta decks to play. These are the kinds of formats that can bring players who enjoy very different strategies to happily compete against one another. A great example was last year. After the Arise Heart ban and before Age of Overlord, there were so many decks with the potential to top or even win a YCS. Unchained, Rescue Ace, Tearlament, a bunch more I'm forgetting to name right now, so I'll put them in editing. Another huge benefit to a diverse format is that it's typically the cheapest Yu-Gi-Oh can be. Pretty basic supply and demand, if only one deck that was released...
That's another thing about diverse formats, chat, is like they tend to be fairly cheap because people, they don't aggregate you to one deck. You know what I mean? Like, even if Pearly's like tier 1, it's just like one of 4, strong tier 1-ish decks. It's like the price can only go so far up because there's only a certain amount of people playing it versus tier where it's like everyone's playing it,
This set is playable, it's gonna be pretty expensive to get your hands on a playset without selling your second kidney. I had to sell my first to afford 3 copies of Pearl Rhino. But when meta decks come from a ton of different sets and boxes, even the greediest of TCG player scalpers aren't gonna stop you from building something good. Thankfully, Konami fixed this issue by making generic staples you'd run in every deck incredibly expensive. So even if the format is diverse, there's still a clear divide between the true duelists and the dirty peasants who don't want to spend $300 on a playset of cardboard. Konami being comically evil aside, diverse formats do have some legitimate drawbacks. For one, it's very hard to prepare competitively. If I'm a top player and I have time for it's very hard.
I've never understood this argument. How is this a drawback? Like, you can't it kind of sounds like him, but I don't think so. I just don't think that this is Gary's argument, that it's too hard to prepare. And I feel like, isn't that just incredibly subjective? You know what I mean? Like, put in more work, I guess. I understand we have an unlimited amount of time because they should always. That's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't think this is not a good argument. You know what I mean? That's like a NFL player saying like, we shouldn't play this many games because I can't prepare for it. Like, train more? I don't know. Do you spend more time at the gym? Like, sacrifice a little less time with your family or whatever? Like, I just don't get it.
To prepare competitively. If I'm a top player and I have time for like 50 games a day, it's obviously going to be better to play against 2 decks 25 times than play 5.
But what if you change that 50 duels a day to 60 duels a day? That's my counter argument. And if you're saying, well, that's too much, like, okay, but then what's the line? That's subjective, though.
Decks 10 times. And sometimes all you have to prepare for is Yugi Moto himself.
Exodia obliterates. Unbelievable. Wow, the crowd goes insane.
That's why for professional players, the ideal competitive format most likely has next to no diversity. In decks, this is not a PragerU ad. Having to prepare for only a few matchups really allows you to understand the decks at a deeper level. And with format warping products releasing every other month, the amount of sufficient testing can get overwhelming. And when a format is really diverse, cheeky strategies you had no way to prepare for it can take you out of the tournament. Don't get me wrong.
You mean like, so we're now basing, and I understand that this is not exact, like, what you're insinuating and what actually happened and what he's even saying is they're like different things. Like, yeah, Jeff, old guy Jeff won a feature match. Cool. He immediately lost 3 straight rounds after that and dropped from the tournament because the deck wasn't good. So, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? UConn, Purdue in the final. Oh, is this the... Okay, I'm like, I honestly do not care about the men's... bro, talk to me about Kate Clark or get out of here, sis.
This moment is hype, and I loved it. But I also understand why pro players absolutely do not want to deal with it when they are dedicating their money and lives on trying to top and win events. Though, trying to win events in a game where a ban list can drop mid-tournament might not be the smartest idea long-term. One final caveat in a diverse format are the decks themselves. If there are 7 viable decks for winning a tournament, but all of them are Hulk Auroradon combo decks that end on Apo, Baron, and Scythe, does that really count as a diverse format? Technically, you are running different archetypes as it fulfills the same goal, but for me, it all feels the same. Even in diverse formats, the existence of generic bosses kinda waters down the appeal of it. Sneak peek, my next video is going to address how generic boss monsters are unhealthy to the game, so tune in for that.
Is this the next big discussion in Yu-Gi-Oh? I feel like this is the next big discussion in Yu-Gi-Oh, because I think we watched a video about this before.
please. But for a format to truly be diverse, there needs to be a variety of end boards and playstyles that can win a tournament, not a format where every rogue deck is using Scythe and DPE. Now, what do I think the ideal format is? With the way Yu-Gi-Oh! Is designed and marketed, we should have some formats with about 3-ish meta-relevant decks. Wait, just hear me out if you are someone who loves a rogue or pet deck.
I'm about to say, bro, you have already earned a dislike. With the way Yu-Gi-Oh! Is, we should only have 3 meta decks. Cool. 3 meta decks.
Wait. Just hear me out if you are someone who loves a rogue or pet deck from years ago. Whether it's a diverse format or not, you're probably not going to win against someone playing meta at a serious level. And that's completely fine. I won't either. Now, to be clear, I generally dislike Tier 0 formats. There are extremes to this, just like everything in life. But it makes sense for Konami. Who are the people spending money on the game the most? The people buying the meta decks, going to tournaments, booking flights, hotels, etc. It doesn't seem right to screw them over. And I don't think for most players, a tighter format affects them at their local level. Even with Snake Eyes pretty much being a Tier 0 deck in the TCG and Master Duel, even without Bonfire, you can pretty much take anything released in the last few years to Master. So if you as an individual want to play pretty much any deck, there are outlets to do.
It's like this Master Duel is not even real Yu-Gi-Oh! Chat, answer this question, yes or no answer. Does it take legitimate skill to get the highest rank in Master Duel? Like, I feel like no one has even ever made that argument. Yes, kind of. All right, I'll take. Out of all the yeses, I'm gonna take kind of as the definitive answer for this stream. No, you know what? That's even better. I'm going to take Dolan's answer, and that's going to be the official answer of this stream. No, it does not take any skill to get Master in Master Duel. Case closed.
Do so. And if you are someone who plays in paper and can't spend $1,000 on a deck, that's a valid but separate issue. As has been discussed in a ton of videos now, OCG printing structure helps meta decks stay extremely affordable in that region.
True.
A tight format doesn't necessarily have to be expensive. That's Konami of America's choice. Though I do understand people saying whether we like it or not, this is how it works here. And in a diverse format, it's better for budget players. That makes sense, but even if tomorrow it magically becomes a 10-deck format, SP Little Knight is still going to be absurdly priced, because the problem is independent. And with the way power creep works, a future diverse format won't be inherently kinder to the pet decks you like to play. But it's not like I don't enjoy diverse formats. Really, I have a great time playing all sorts of new decks in Master Duel. So this is more of a preference rather than I need one kind of format and never the other. Quite the contrary. While I think a majority of formats should be kept to a few limited decks, it should be like 70-30. Diverse formats should absolutely exist to keep the game exciting, even if it does sort of lower the skill expression of the competitive game a bit. But for now, that's how I feel about the ideal Yu-Gi-Oh! Environment. But I'm just one random guy. What do you guys think is the ideal format? Please comment below. I would love to know, and I read every single one of them. This is Breadboy Weeb, signing out.
Breadboy Weeb. That's an interesting name. I just don't hear any arguments, like, other than, I guess, the last 10 seconds of the video where he said skill expression is higher in Tier 0, which is debatable. I didn't really hear any arguments for Tier 0 over wide formats. I just, or even like formats that have a very, very small amount. I don't know. I feel like the skill expression is like vastly overrated, chat, because you see people complaining. You see this format we're in, chat, is like pretty close to Tier 0. But you see the same players who love tier format are complaining about this format. Why is that? I mean, is skill expression so much lower in Fire Kings than it is in Tier Limit? Like, I would argue probably not. I mean, maybe I don't know all the inner workings of both decks. Maybe that's what Jib would say. Like, Cap, you don't know the power of OSS, dude. So I don't know. In my defense, the more diversity, the better. That's how I feel. You know what I mean? I think all of these arguments against wide formats are just silly and arbitrary. Oh, I can't prepare for every deck. Okay, you're not supposed to. Oh, I can't side for every deck. Okay, you're not supposed to. Like, You know what I mean? Like, you're not supposed to have perfect side cards for every single matchup. That's not what Yu-Gi-Oh! Is supposed to be. When you have perfect side cards for every matchup, like, the duels actually get significantly worse. You know what I mean? And less fun. It's crazy how a lot of people start playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And buying products when it's a diverse format. Because like, no one, I don't know, a format being like super tight chat in Tier 0, it inherently goes against what the IP stands for. You know what I mean? Like, it's like the opposite of what Yu-Gi-Oh! Is supposed to be honest. Hello, Super Paludo. Is it, how do you pronounce this? Is it Super Paludo? Like the Paludo as in the planet? Well, it's not a planet anymore, but you know what I mean. What is Yu-Gi-Oh! Supposed to be? Yu-Gi-Oh! Is supposed to be an engaging and fun card game with lots of variety. There's a reason why all the characters in the anime series, which, like, the main purpose of the anime series, chat, especially after DM, is to attract new players into the game. There's a reason why they don't just play the same deck. Why everyone doesn't just play Blue Eyes, Blue Eyes, Blue Eyes. It decreases the watching experience, and it decreases the watching experience. It gets boring, and it also decreases the IRL experience for people who are actually playing the card games. It's repetitive. It's boring. It's not as enjoyable. That's the reason why there are so many different archetypes, and why they don't just, you know, say Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just going to be Dark Magician, Blue Eyes, and Exodia. That's it. We'll just print archetype. We'll just print 3 archetypes, and that'll be it forever. You know, I miss fun eras like Zexal. I love Zexal, but that's just my